We are trying to determine the radius of a curve to the nearest foot. Oh, foot, not food. Foot if the roadway is being designed for to cars traveling at 70 miles an hour and it has a super elevation, so the road's angled up. It's got a grade of 3 degrees. We've got two constants, gravity, g, 32.2, and then our F, which is probably the road friction, of 0.14. Now, this is the formula the book gave you on page 68 for these problems. And that this is how we want to figure out R. Now, the first thing though is that when you read this, it's going to tell you what you're in. And in this case, V is in feet per second. We are not in feet per second, we're in miles per hour. So the first thing you need to change is you need to change this miles per hour to feet per second. So there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Okay. Notice I want to be able to cancel out the labels I don't want, so they should always be opposite. That's going to tell you what goes on the top and what goes on the bottom. Then over here, I'm going to put my hour up here, and I want to end up in seconds. And there is 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. So these are also going to cancel out, leaving me the feet per second I want. I have to go across here, and I have to do 70 times 5,280, and then I'm dividing by 3,600. So I have 102 and 0.7 repeating, so 2/3. I like to be exact as possible so that I can put it in there, and this is feet per second. So that was my first thing, is make sure in these word problems that you're paying attention to what they told you the variables were in, because sometimes you will have to do conversions. So then R is going to equal 102.7 squared over 32.2 times 0.14 plus tangent of 3. Okay, now I need to put this into my calculator. Now when I put this into my calculator, first obviously make sure you are in degrees, and I am. I always start wherever's biggest because I want to do as little rounding as possible. So I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to do the tangent of 3. And then I'm going to add my plus 0.14 times by 32.2. So that's my denominator. Now in my top, I have 102 plus 2/3. That was my decimal, because again, I'm trying to be as precise as possible. And actually, this is going to do this wrong. 102.2/3. I need parentheses so it times is by the entire top. Okay, so that's my entire top, and you probably could get away with rounding, and then I'm going to do second negative sign so I get the answer. Oh, I forgot to square. I'm like, why is that not the answer? That doesn't even seem right. Let's try this again. So I'm going to do, let's just start over again here. So I'm going to do tangent of 3 plus 0.14 times my 32.2. Then in my numerator, I have 102 plus 2/3. Then this whole thing is squared, not cubed, squared. And then I'm going to divide by my answer. And there's my answer, 1,701 feet. They said round to the nearest foot, so 1,701 feet is my safe radius for this curve if I want cars to be able to go 70 miles an hour. So one of the reasons I wanted to show you this, obviously, working on making sure we're getting input in the calculator, but also to really pay attention on these word problems that you have everything converted correctly. And if you don't remember how to convert, hopefully that gave you a quick refresher.